let's talk about dandelions. So this is one of the more commonly known plants as far as edible weeds that you're going to find in your yard. However, I learned a lot about dandelions that I don't think is commonly known. Let's take some time and take a good hard look at our little friend, the dandelion. Dandelions, interestingly enough, grow in spots all around the world. I mean, I'm sure there's some places that they don't grow, probably not any in Antarctica, but you know, like they're spread out. They're not just in the US, they're not just in Europe, they're around. And because of that, there are a lot of medicinal properties of these plants. So I thought I would kind of take the dandelion apart and tell you about the different parts of it. Underneath the ground, where we can't actually see, we've got the root system. And the roots of dandelions are commonly known as something that you can make tea from, something that you can make coffee from. To do the tea, you just clean the roots really well, kind of like a potato. You just dry them in a dehydrator or your oven, and then you use that dried root to make tea. For the coffee, you do a similar process, but you dry them, then you roast them, and from that you make the coffee. But the root is not just something to flavor water with. It actually is medicinal as well as being edible. The roots are really well known for their properties for helping your digestive system, and interestingly enough, they also help you to better absorb minerals, which I think is really interesting because we talk a lot about, leaky gut and gut issues and not getting adequate nutrition into our bodies because our intestines won't absorb them. So dandelion is one plant that actually helps to address that issue. Additionally, dandelion roots also help with your urinary function. So that's just a cool thing to keep in the back of your brain for later. We're going to start by getting our handy dandy digging tool, in this case a broken knife, and we're going to cut in a circle around our dandelion. And that's how we're going to start. And then we're going to get the loose dirt from around it, clearing it away, making it a little easier to get this guy out. Some of the time it breaks. So we just have a little bit of this one. We're going to try it again over here. See if I can figure this out. Oh wow. That wasn't rooted deeply at all. It came right out. So that's what we do. Here I am with my harvest of dandelions. We've got some good roots. We've also got some very short roots. And I did accidentally get one that's got a flower head. But overall, this should be a good testing, a good amount to test with and see what we think of dandelion root tea, and also try and make some of the coffee. And don't worry about this jacket. Yes, it looks really cute and really pretty, but I melted a hole in it when I was back blacksmithing, so it's no good. It's already ruined. But thank you for thinking of my jacket so fondly. Let's talk about the leaves. So the leaves are supposed to be eaten at the start of the spring when they're small. They're not supposed to be eaten when they're giant like this, right? However, I still find even the smallest dandelion leaf to be bitter. But don't worry, at the end of this video, I will have a supplementary video showing how I managed to cook dandelions in a way that took the bitterness out. So make sure you stay till the end. The leaves have a lot of nutritional properties that they've actually studied. They are high in beta carotene, high in fiber and vitamin C, high in potassium, iron, and calcium. So they really are a powerhouse of nutrition, which is pretty cool. But they also help your body to detoxify. Specifically, they talk about your blood, that it helps to detoxify your blood, which with the amount of environmental toxins that we are exposed to in our current lives, that seems important to find plants that can detoxify wherever and whenever you can. The stems actually even have medicinal properties. If you kind of open these up, I don't know if you can see it on my finger, but they have a white substance. It's plant latex, which I don't think is, I don't know if that's similar to the latex that like we think of when we think of like latex gloves. But this latex inside the stems is actually medicinal. It is antifungal, it's antibacterial, and they have used it to treat warts and also to repel mosquitoes. So if you're in a crunch and you really need to be rid of mosquitoes, I guess in theory you could take one of these, get that latex and rub it wherever they are biting you. I think you would need a lot of stems for that, but I don't know, maybe their scent's really powerful. Also, by the way, there is a bee on a dandelion flower, which is between my legs. Awkward. Look, bro, you're getting a little fresh there. I'm moving really slowly to see if I can show you. Hold on. Oh, shit. Only now you see my fat belly. But yes, there's a bee. Awkward. I did not want to be that close to Mr. B. I feel like he is violating my personal space boundaries, and he really needs to cut that shit out. So, believe it or not, I couldn't find any information, or I didn't find any information about the flowers and their nutritional composition. It's probably out there, but as I was looking in the different books that I have, I didn't see anything, and I didn't think to look it up. So, you know, maybe there'll be a future video about dandelion flowers. However, there is a lot that we know about the whole plant. The plant as a whole helps and stimulates your liver and your gallbladder. And it helps to lower your cholesterol and your blood pressure, which is pretty amazing. This is a powerful, powerful plant. But how do you get it into you in a way that isn't disgusting? Well, I took some time this week and I cooked up some delicious dandelion goodness. So let's check out some videos where I show you different ways to cook the dandelion flowers and even a way that is good to cook the dandelion leaves. There's two ways that you can fry this. And the first one is you can just kind of dip it in batter and then fry it like that. But the problem is the green bits are bitter. The yellow is delicious and wonderful, but all these little pieces of green are harsh and bitter. So you're gonna wanna take those off if you don't like the bitter taste. And the other way is you can just take it all apart, take all of the yellow flowers out of the flower head, and then you can mix them in with batter and make a fritter that way. And it is really good. Let's fry some dandelion flowers. So I started with 1 cup of almond flour, 1 large egg, Then I added a little bit of cream and diluted it with some water, and I'll mix those all together. I let that rest and it is still super thin. So we're gonna add some coconut flour, and then I seasoned it with salt, pepper, and garlic powder. Now it's time to give it a try. So we've got our hot oil here, we've got our batter, and for this, just gonna dip it in, trying to get him kind of covered, and we're gonna put him on. We're gonna brown him, and then we'll give him a good taste test, see how he goes. I flipped these to the other side, and they're getting done on that side. Then I take them out and let them drain on this piece of paper towel, which is above a plate. I added a little more salt to the mix because it was kind of bland, and I think I'll salt them once they get done each time, but overall it's a good batter. But we'll make a few this way that are plain, and then I think we'll experiment a little. So I tossed about half of the mix into this little container, added some cumin. I'm gonna add a bunch of curry, to be honest, and we're gonna see how that goes. There's not that much of the batter goes on each little dandelion, so hopefully this will not overpower them, but we'll see. So batch 3, I added a little bit of Lowry's seasoned salt and some Slap Ya Mama. Let's see how it goes. In the end, all 3 types of the dandelion mixture were amazing. Because I had to use almond flour, I think they soaked up more oil than normally would happen with the different type of flour. But overall, they were crunchy, they were delicious. My favorite was the Cajun, the one with just the Lowry's and the Cajun seasoning. But I brought them to family Easter thinking like nobody's actually gonna eat these, like I'm gonna take them all home. But actually multiple people ate them, which was surprising. And one of the little kids heard that one had curry and was like, nom, 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 nom. So that was really cool. I did not expect that at all. Definitely, I would give these a shot and see what you think. We have this container of dandelion greens foraged from the yard. In the recipe, it says to put the leaves in a pot and boil the boiling water over them. But that doesn't seem very workable, so we're just going to put them into the boiling water, let them boil for 5 minutes, and we're hoping that that's going to get the bitter taste out. Of course, they're going to boil into like nothing because they always shrink. And we're going to stir them occasionally. Yes, that's going to take some of the nutrition out, but if it takes the bitterness out, it will be worth it, because I will not usually eat these because they're so bitter. So even if it takes out some of the nutrition, there should still be some left in the leaves, and that is better than eating none, which is what I will eat if they stay so bitter. We've also got a a skillet back here where I made bacon earlier. So it's got the little crunchy bacon-y bits and the bacon grease in there. So once the greens are done, we're gonna move them into that pot, put a little salt on them, and they'll be done. So I'll bring you back when the 5 minutes is up. All right, and time to take these greens out, plop them in the pan with the bacon grease. I'm hoping this is good. We have tons of dandelions in the yard. So it would be a cheap and healthy food source if I could make it taste less nasty. But I'm not a person that likes bitter foods. So, now I could have strained that, but that seems like a lot of work and I'm not that motivated. So we're just going to kind of let the bacon grease get on all of that. We're gonna toss some garlic salt on, because garlic salt makes everything better. And put that on a plate. Let's put that on my plate. It's still pretty bitter, but it's workable. I can eat them this way. So I consider this a success. So if you like this video, don't forget to give me a like, subscribe if you're interested in seeing more of my content, and eat something wild.